I'm Jeff Hubbard. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief of the Sunderland Fire Department, and springtime is an excellent opportunity for us to perform our ice rescue training because the ice is breaking up and it's perfect for ice water rescue training.
Yurkovich's Pond, we're up here at north end of Sunderland. And this is a nice area to come to because it's not a real deep pond. We like this here because it's a lot more controlled. You have the thicker ice, so it's safer to be walking on it. Whereas if we had people working over in there, you might have somebody fall through. So like I say, with this being controlled, it's much safer.
This is our ice rescue sled that's always kept on top of E4. It's always ready to go, always ready to perform a rescue, along with the other equipment that we carry on this truck. Because after all, we've got Cranberry Pond just to the north of us, and we have 7 miles of river, along with other small lakes and ponds in the area.
This is it's called an ice rescue sled that we bought, probably 12, 15 years ago. And basically what it is, 2 pontoons can go, it'll float on the water, or you can pull yourself across the ice for rescuing a victim that might be in the water, or even out on the ice that can't move. The ice might be so thin that they can't really move, or they're so cold. And one person gets on the sled after it's all tied in with wetsuits on, and we'll go out to rescue the person, or even a dog or animal, whatever, that might be through the ice or on thin ice where you can't move.
We got a nice day today. The ice is looks like it's about 1 foot thick here. What we're going to do is open it up, and we're going to place a victim into the water, which is going to be Larry Hepburn in his full wetsuit. So he stays pretty warm in that suit. Then what we're going to do is practice with our sled, going out and getting them out of the hole. And without this sled, if you had thinner ice, this definitely wouldn't be possible. So once we get this ice opened up, we'll be able to get going.
Now over here in this compartment of E4, our first truck that would respond to an ice rescue, we have our survival suits. Those are those big red suits that enable us to jump into the water even in freezing cold temperatures and still stay warm and functional. As the rescuers are putting on their survival suits, a couple of first responders can try the rope bag and toss that out to a victim, and hopefully they'll still have enough strength that they can grab onto the rope and we can pull them out of their situation.
Yeah, and toss it just like a bowling ball. Just throw it away and let her go. Get a good arc. Y'all familiar how to repack them? You just open the top up and just push the rope right back in again. Make sure there's no knots, and you can put them back in here wet and try it again if you missed the first time. Hold it right up tight again and try it.
Anytime you have an actual situation like this, what we'd want to do is have the ambulance come, start a paramedic group, BHS or AMR, start a helicopter if needed. It can be suits that the rescuers are wearing. They're full rubber suit, watertight, very buoyant, so if they did happen to go into the water, they'd float quite easily, much more so than if they were just wearing a life jacket. Protects them from the cold, keeps them dry, very visible. What we have with this sled is it's a one-man operation. It's a very light unit. You can propel yourself very easily across the ice by running on it. There's an opening in the center there. And you can move pretty well with it. So response time is very quick. You can see what he's doing now is he's going to grab the victim by the back and hoist him up onto the sled. There's a harness that's underneath him right now, which is going to be going around his body. He wants to get that sled right up as close as possible. Larry's a pretty hefty guy, so he makes a really good victim. He's putting the strap around him now, and what this strap's going to do is hoist him up onto the sled by lifting the strap over the rails. That's Jim Bernier we have on there right now. Jim Bernier is our full-time firefighter. You know, with a victim in the water, they're going to be pretty numb, if not unconscious. So you can see how one person can get somebody of that size up onto the sled.
We are excited about starting a new training program here at Sunderland Fire Department for any new members that want to get started in service of the fire department. Can take a class here once a month. The training is taught by our own Jim Bernier, who is our full-time fireman here during the day. And we welcome everybody. Anybody who's interested in helping out their community is welcome to come and join us.
One of our hopefully future firefighters, Jeff Hubbard. And it's real nice to get young guys like this out here, so they're going to be very experienced when they do become full-time firefighters. And there again, he's getting them up on the sled, getting ready to put the strap around them. See, this is nice because Larry's able to talk to people through it. What he wants to do right now is get up as close as possible. And that's, the front of that sled's going to be right up against the victim. One of the things that we want to do too is try talking to the victim, find out how many people are in there, if he was by himself, if we have to rescue 2 people or 1. And by talking to the victim, you're keeping them somewhat orientated. You're giving them the hope that, you know, rescue is on the way. So he gets him up onto that point where he can get the strap around him. The strap will secure him to the sled right now, so he won't be going back in. And then you start with the lift, one side, then the other. And here again, for somebody of Larry's size, it does work quite easily. What they want to do is try to get the victim as far onto the sled as possible. And your rescuer is going to step around, get to the back of the victim. And what this is doing right here is it's making the front of the sled lighter, so when they pull, the front of the sled will come up a little bit and it pulls much easier. And there you go, very quick rescue.
In the fire service or the ambulance service, men and women stand together equally. There's a job for everybody to do and an opportunity for everybody to do it.
No, no, you want to get a little bit closer. Get up as... There you go. There, that's good. Very good.
Point your toes when you come in.
Slowly. There you are.
Okay. Pedal like a bike.
You don't, okay, yeah. You don't have to worry about taking the slack up. Just make sure that it's hooked in the clip and just let them know on the shore. And keep the rope up kind of high on my back. No, let go of the clip, let go of the clip. Okay, now tell them to... Jim, what we ought to do is, when they pull the victim out, don't stay with the victim. Let them go. Because what you did, you rode up on my back. And if I was in there a long time coming over that ice, I could have bruised a lot easier, a lot more. I know you want to get them out, but it's easier to not hang on to them. Let the rescuers pull them off. Okay, and then you'll come right up. You will come right out.
What we're going to do now is go over here to the open water so that the rescuers can see what it's like to have the sled breaking through the ice.
I'm going to go into that piece of ice right there that almost looks like it's slush. And we're going to use the sled out here this time, and hopefully for a training drill, the sled's going to break through. They're going to actually have to pull themselves with a paddle that's on that sled to the victim. What we've been doing there with real hard ice has been out of the ordinary. Usually, unless they're in an automobile or something and go through the ice, they won't have that much ice. So what we're going to be doing now is using this real thin ice. Okay, Steve. Oh, jeez. See, now if I wasn't conscious, there's a good chance I would have gone down. Because of the fact that the ice sheared right in front of me, you know, and I lost my sheet to hold myself up on. So.
But you were paddling.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
If you hadn't been, I would have grabbed you by the arm.
Hopefully you could have got here fast enough to do that before I went down.
Right.
Okay?
Hi, I'm Bob Ahern. I'm the fire chief here in the town of Sunderland. And this is two pieces of our newest equipment. Right behind me we got a 16-foot boat. We got 7 miles of river in Sunderland and a public boat ramp that's quite busy during the summer months. We never had a boat before here in Sunderland. We got this through a state-funded grant. $12,800 of it was paid for through the state, and around $3,000 to $4,000 was paid through the Firemen's Association. And a little bit further back is a new fire truck that we just got today, and that was paid for through taxpayer money. They're putting the hose on the truck now. These guys are volunteering their time and installing all this hose tonight. And it takes a lot of work to put all this equipment on the truck. These guys, got to train many times a year and at least once a month. And I'd like to thank the citizens of the Sunderland for all their support, and these items will help serve you better.